Hello everyone, I'm Krasi, and this will be about the astrology of the week. I will be talking about the week starting on 30th of March, Monday. I will make a brief overview on what is the celestial situation right now, and then we see day by day, the 7 days of the week, how the sky will influence us. Now, what is happening? What happened just a day ago? Venus entered sidereal Taurus, where she's very powerful. She is an evening star, and you can see Venus right now in the evening sky, beautifully shining. Even today and yesterday, Venus was with the moon in the sign of sidereal Taurus. Now, this is very nice and like help from heaven aspect of Venus, because she's making harmonious aspect to the heavy, otherwise conjunction of Saturn and Mars. So this conjunction is heavy and we are experiencing it already. We see how power is being imposed on us, how the governments are being well, exactly execution of power. This is how we see this. It is also the conjunction of danger, possible dangers. But Venus is helping. She is the hope. She is the help, because she is creating the trine aspect. Even right now, she's applying to Mars by trine, harmonious aspect. This aspect is harmonious. Saturn loves Venus, Mars loves Venus, both love Venus. This aspect is very harmonious, very helpful, but it's also very emotional. That is why people are, the emotions of people are very volatile, jumping from one end to the other. People have not, cannot experience right now emotional stability, because this aspect between Mars and Venus, Saturn and Venus, is very much influencing each one of us. So, in this sense, the influences of Venus towards the two malefic planets, the influences of Venus are quite softening their influences, really softening. You can't imagine how heavy their influences would be when they're together if Venus was not supporting us right now. So she's really helpful. And yes, still we're going through some difficult times, but everything is temporary. So we only need to be a bit patient. So this week, the conjunction between Mars and Saturn, which is not harmonious, is still valid. It will be valid until the end of the week. It will be valid also next week, because also the whole month of April, Mars will be in the sign of Capricorn, where he's exalted and very powerful. Well, Venus will also be there and will be very helpful, as we said. So, what is the other important? What is happening apart from that on the sky is that we're having um, still this week the sun in Pisces, and the sun and is creating harmonious sextile to Mars and Saturn, to Venus. It is harmonious, and Pisces is the sign of mercy, of empathy, of spirituality, spiritual awakening, if you want. We have very powerful spiritual stars in the sign of Pisces. So maybe this is what the sun is trying to show us, that we need to remain very spiritual. And the sun in Pisces has quite powerful position. It's like exalted for our era. Not exactly though, but it's like exalted, and I'll explain you why. You remember where is the point of the spring, the vernal equinox? It is in Pisces. And the Pisces is the sign which is like emphasized by the sun rays, because of the position of the vernal equinox, which is taking place in the 5th degrees of Pisces. So the sun is powerful in Pisces for our era. And I see this as a sign for help from heaven, healing powers of the sun. Well, in 15 days, in 2 weeks, the sun is entering Aries, and this will slowly um, uh, ease up the situation, bring help from heaven. So the week is still not harmonious. Sudden change in the good direction we cannot expect yet. But remember, Venus is helping, creating trine. The sun is still quite helpful and powerful in creating sextile, so to say, between the malefic planets and Venus. This is also quite powerful. So we need to be patient and very spiritual and very connected with the spirit world. And this is the way out. And this is also what Jupiter is telling us in his powerful placement in Sagittarius. So let's start with the days of the week. Monday, 30th of March, 5th lunar day. So what are we seeing on Monday is Venus just entered Taurus, and the moon is conjoined Aldebaran, powerful royal star of money, luck, and wealth. So in this sense, the day is not devastating in terms of finances. Yes, the moon is a bit limited from the presence of Saturn, which is limiting our finances, but on the other hand, the aspect is trine. So through organization, through some efforts, I believe this aspect of the moon is quite powerful. On the other hand, you know that the moon's hidden place exaltation is the sign of Taurus, and this is also very nice in terms of enhancing our intuition, connecting with the spirit world. And the moon is in the same sign with Venus, powerful for creating beauty, artistic work, for doing doing also some beauty procedures if possible. And yes, it is conjunction of luck, good luck. And the day is ruled by the moon, very very powerful if you like to enhance the power of the moon in your horoscopes, for example. It is enough that you look at the moon in the evening when the sun is setting and the moon is rising on the western horizon. On the Mondays, you can wear the gemstones which belong to the moon. You can eat the foods which belong to the moon. One of them, which comes as first in my mind, is rice or lemons. I often repeat this. So it is lunar day of the 5th lunar day, powerful lunar day of the waxing moon, the day of enhancing our intuition and spirituality and doing some work of beauty. Let's end this way about Monday. And now let's see what is happening on Tuesday. On Tuesday, 6th lunar day, 31st of March, the moon here is void of course. Literally, the moon has no course. We can't expect any lucky, successful events when the moon has no course. But the moon is still in the very last degrees of Taurus, which is again about spirituality. Taurus gives power to the moon. We can do spiritual practices. We can do work of art and beauty and study and learn. And also, the day is Tuesday. The day is Tuesday, ruled by Mars. So this day is not very benefic, and the moon is also in the term, in the degrees of Taurus, which are ruled by Mars. So indeed, the day is very Martian, and Mars is behind the difficulties that we are going through now. So it's good that we kind of connect with the planet in a very good way, like wearing the colors red, or just having the thought of Mars connecting with the planet. This is always helpful. The planets have living, ruling divinities, which are really conscious and very powerful and very wise. So whatever Mars is bringing us in these times on Earth is happening for a reason. That is for sure. So it's a Martian day. Not very harmonious, but we can make it harmonious with our thoughts, with our intentions, with our spiritual work. And yes, we can't expect a lot from this day, especially when the moon is void, of course. Let's see what is happening on Wednesday, 1st of April. Seventh lunar day. The seventh lunar day, I often repeat, is not harmonious because it is critical. Maybe because of the number 7, but it's also the day when the moon is squaring the sun. Always considered critical, and the ancients would do as less as possible, would spend time in the temple, would pray, would do whatever spiritual practices they want, but they wouldn't do much. The moon is in this, it's Wednesday, and the moon is also in Gemini, very intellectual, spiritual place of communication, but still place to connect again with the spirit world, to study a lot, to learn, maybe to do media work and share our knowledge with the others. And also the moon is having trine with Mercury, so this is fine. So yes, they ruled by Mercury. We can do Mercurian activities, whatever they are, communication, media work, but also spend time in a temple. I say symbolically spend time with ourselves, working on our knowledge and spirituality. So this is about day ruled by Mercury. When the day is ruled by Mercury, we can wear green, emerald, gemstones which are green, serpentine, which what other gemstones are green? Prehnite, for example, green garnets, grossular garnets. There are many, many green gemstones which are all belonging to Mercury. Some have mixed rulership, but Mercury is, especially when the color of the gemstone is yellowish green, quite much Mercury is influencing them, is ruling them. So we can also wear green and really study and find time for ourselves. This will be wonderful on Wednesday, 7th lunar day. And on Thursday, 2nd of April, 8th lunar day, the moon is conjoined Castor. Castor is the one of the two twins, two Gemini twins, great twins. Castor is Enkidu, according to the Babylonian mythology. He's the spiritual one, the very pure one, Castor. Day of purity, day of spirituality, because Castor is the spiritual one. Pollux is Gilgamesh, he's the Martian one, and the moon is with Castor, purity, day of purifying ourselves, if you want, day of, again, studies. The moon is in a star which is under the constellation of Gemini. And the day is ruled by Jupiter. Mentioning about Jupiter, Jupiter is exactly conjoined Pluto, depth of our self-analyzing our spiritual and belief system. Jupiter with Pluto together is such a powerful combination that it's difficult to analyze. It can be about execution of power over people, of course, but it can be also about depth of self-analyzing our belief system, knowledge, spirituality. And this is how I feel it recently, Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. It brings me to, for example, I'm giving you example with what I feel and experience. Maybe you share the same experiences. Jupiter Pluto can give you desire to deeply research, deeply go into knowledge and spiritual awareness. So make use in this very way from this complex but also beautiful conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto, conjunction of depth and power, let's call it this way. And the day is ruled by Jupiter. Thursday is ruled by Jupiter. So you can see Jupiter on the sky. This is really brilliant. You can wear the colors of Jupiter, yellowish, off-white. You can eat the foods of Jupiter. Take, for example, peaches or fruits of Jupiter. Oh, this is beautiful. It is always good to have in mind consciously which planet is ruling the day. And when this is Jupiter, work of empathy, thinking about others, helping others, connecting with others, praying for the people who right now in the world are having difficult times. Good intention, this is very important and so much noticed and appreciated by the spirit world. And yes, reanalyzing, revisiting our belief system, our knowledge, if you want, on the Thursday day ruled by Jupiter. And let's see Friday, 3rd of April, 9th lunar day, and the moon is approaching the nebula of Cancer, Presepe, deep waters, stormy place related to one of the big floats. It's this place, so powerful, so deep, beyond comprehension. It is a place where when people have this a nebula on a key position, they are very deep, they are very spiritual, very philosophical, and this is not an easy placement of the moon. And also the moon is receiving the opposition of Saturn and Mars. This day will not be very harmonious. Not indeed, not very harmonious. And what we can do on this day? Well, Cancer is the sign, the moon is in the deep nebula. We can do again, maybe I'm repeating myself, but it is appropriate to mention this also now, spiritual work that would enhance our intuition. Maybe we could try to, by enhancing our intuition, to uplift our level of consciousness, vibrations. It's so important now to keep our vibrations high so that we don't become vulnerable towards any influences. So yes, make use of this day that way. And because it is also day Friday, ruled by Venus, do work of beauty, say good words to the people around you. It's day of love, it's day of artistic work, and yes, spiritual, enhancing your intuition. Beautiful fragrances, smells, perfumes, flowers. Enjoy the day in this particular day. It's a day ruled by Venus, and she's an evening star. Don't forget to look at Venus in the evening when the sun is setting. You'll be able shortly after that to see Venus as an evening star. And then on the 4th of April, Saturday, 10th lunar day of the waxing moon, the moon is still in the constellation of Cancer, but already far from the nebula, better placement, in harmonious aspect with Venus. This is very fine. Still receiving the opposition from Mars and Saturn, which is not very harmonious. So we are not over yet with the difficult times of our history. So, well, again, I would say spiritual work. Welcome, see sun in the morning, see Saturn, because Saturn is very important. He's the one who now is watching that the karmic lessons are being fulfilled for humanity. And the moon is having harmonious aspect with the sun. This may bring some harmony in our feelings, emotions. I believe it will, but we also need to work on that. So Saturday, day ruled by Saturn. We need to have a thought about Saturn. We can wear blue, black, dark blue. The gems that we can use, blue sapphire, black sapphire, dark sapphires, amethyst, tanzanite. These stones are ruled by Saturn. And yes, so this is about the Saturday. Not very harmonious day, but very harmonious if we make it so through our own work, organizing our thoughts, studies, works, businesses, and not allowing any disharmonies and fears which Saturn can create. But it is in our hands to allow this or not. And then let's see Sunday, which is 5th of April, Sunday, 11th lunar day of the waxing moon. And the moon is in the heart of the lion. Beautiful, beautiful place. Day of courage. Maybe we'll be able on Saturday to welcome the sun with a smile, and also to receive the courage of the heart of the lion and be courageous and forget the fears that we've been going through. And then Venus is also aspecting, I believe we will manage. Don't forget to welcome the sun on Sunday. Don't forget to pray. Yes, it's a beautiful day of courage. And it is a day of the sun, day of the lion. So, and it's a day which receives a harmonious aspect from Venus, work of beauty, beauty procedure, not bad day for the finances. So Sunday I see as a good day. So this was about the week, starting from 30th of March until 5th of April. I will admit the week is not going to be very harmonious, but we need to be patient. Maybe now is the time that we learn patience, that we all of us, none of us can say that we are patient, that we do have patience to go through these difficult events. They will also end. It is important how we go through them. What is our perception? Do we really learn the lesson that they are supposed to mean for us? Do we really connect with God as we should? Because maybe this is what they're trying to tell us. Maybe they're trying to bring us back to nature, which we have forgotten, maybe. So we need to try to see the beauty in every single event. And I am sure that if we manage to see the hand of God in every event, then we will be happy and then we will remain positive. So have a very good week, make it good, and see you next week.